What's up, guys? It's your boy DS, and today we're going to be talking about 3 big tips to help you out in the early game so that you guys can get started and be on track, to getting into a spot where you're comfortable, where you feel like your, Link is pretty decently strong and you're not going to be struggling with enemies or anything like that. Now, a couple of these, I know some of you guys are going to be like, hey DS, I feel like that's common sense, but I do want to specify these things because not all of it is common sense, and there are some specific details that you guys need to make sure that you take note of that some of you guys may not know. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is fusing your weapons. After you play for about an hour or two, you guys are going to gain the fuse ability, and what this allows you to do is it allows you to fuse weapons with other objects out in the world, or maybe if you have it in your bag or whatever the case may be, but it allows you to fuse them to give them different types of enhancements or make them stronger and things like that. Well, as far as your melee weapons go, you want to make sure that you're fusing all of your melee weapons as much and as often as possible. Now, like I said, I know some of you guys are going to say, hey, well, DS, I feel like this is common sense. The reason why I'm telling you guys this is because too often, I've already played over 5 hours as of making this video. And there's already been multiple times where I've been fighting a whole bunch of different enemies, a weapon or two breaks, and I pick up another weapon and I forget to fuse that with something. So when I end up fighting something else, or maybe I'm fighting a decently strong enemy, or whatever the case may be, now I have a couple of weapons, melee weapons in my arsenal that are not fused. That means that the damage is going to be lower, that means that the durability is going to be lower, and that leaves me in a situation where I either A, have to use the weapon not fused, B, I have to find something to fuse it with, or C, I have to use what other weapons I have left that are fused. And if those end up breaking, that's going to be putting me in an even worse situation, because now all my fused weapons are broken and then all I have left are unfused weapons. So to basically stop that from happening entirely, and basically this is going to allow you to create a good habit when it comes to playing this game, because the fuse ability is going to be a very big part of the game, is to just anytime you get a melee weapon, you fuse it with something so that you guys can have higher durability and you guys will have more damage. Keep in mind, on top of those two things, you can get other enhancements, whether it is, ice damage or fire damage, or, multitude of different things like that. Now, if you guys didn't know, how durable your weapon is and how much damage your weapon does is based off of the weapon before it's fused, number 1, and number 2, what you fuse it with. So like, let's say you fuse a stick with a fish. It's probably not going to be that durable, and it's probably not going to do that much damage, although it will do more damage and be more durable than whenever it wasn't fused. Now, let's say you fuse a sword with a boulder. It's going to be a lot more durable, and it's going to do a lot more damage, opposed to you not having it fused or fusing it with something that is much less durable. Now, there are a ton of different things for you guys to use to fuse in this game, from spikes to boulders to different special items that may give you, like I said, fire damage, ice damage, and different things like that. There are a ton of different things that you can use your weapons and fuse them with, so make sure you're doing it as often as possible so your character can be as strong as possible in the early game. And as you guys get further in the game, you're going to obviously get stronger weapons, and with those stronger weapons, you're going to fuse them with things, and it's going to make them even stronger. Like I said, it is going to scale with how strong your weapon initially is. The next tip I want to talk to you guys about is cooking food. In the early game, you are going to only have 3 hearts, and keep in mind, whenever enemies hit you, they'll take half a heart, they might take 1/4 a heart, they may take a whole heart from you. Now, with Link only having 3 hearts, he is very susceptible to dying if enemies hit him a decent amount, especially with, if you guys didn't know, there are a much bigger range of enemies in this game, and a lot of the enemies are going to be a lot stronger and a lot better than they were in Breath of the Wild. With this being the case, adding that onto all the new mechanics that the enemies and different types of enemies have, you are going to be fighting a lot, and there are going to be times where you get hit. So with you only having 3 hearts and all of these different types of enemies and things like that, cooking food is going to allow you multiple different bonuses that are going to benefit you in the early game, and then creating this good habit is going to just make you a lot better off once you get to the middle and later stages of the game as well. Now, early on, you guys may only have a campfire, and if you guys want to know, all you got to do is drop the food on the campfire and it will end up cooking. After it cooks, you can pick it up and you guys will have the cooked food. Now, this is a really good way to do this as far as early, whenever you have no other option. But keep in mind, if you keep it on the fire for too long, it will end up burning and disappearing. Now, once you are able to get to a cooking station where you can actually cook the food, you know, and you can mix and match different types of food and things like that, this is whenever it becomes very, very good for you, because not only will you be able to cook different things and make like shish kebab or whatever the case may be, those foods are going to be a lot better off because they'll give you like 3 hearts back or 4 hearts back or 5 hearts back. They'll give you way more hearts back than if you were to just throw it on the fire and then pick it up. And then on top of that, there are many foods in the game that also give you bonuses. So say you cook some food, you know, and then once you get it back, it may give you a speed bonus. It may give you, you know, freeze resistance. It may give you, you know, tons of different bonuses on top of giving you a lot of HP back. Now, like I said, with Link only having 3 hearts in the early game, this is going to be really good for you to keeping your character alive. And then later on, once you get better food that you're able to cook, you're going to be getting even more bonuses. You can get like attack bonuses, defense bonuses, and many other different things like that. So make sure you are also cooking your food as much as you can so that your inventory is stocked up on a whole bunch of food that you can use whenever you need it. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is this box right here. Now, I'm not entirely sure the name of the box, but this box is super helpful. As far as early game, I'm not sure how helpful it's going to be in the mid or late game later on, but as far as the early game, if you ever see one of these boxes, make sure to utilize it to its fullest potential. As you guys see on the screen right here, you can move this box wherever you want it to go, and you can climb on this box. And with that being the case, you guys are basically able to climb up stuff, climb down stuff, go across stuff, and you can use this box however you need, and you can just keep moving it and keep moving it and keep moving it until you are done using it. This is going to be a very good way for you to get to places that you otherwise wouldn't be able to get had you not been using this box. Now, obviously you have to use Ultra Hand, but you get Ultra Hand pretty early, so you don't have to worry about that. But keep in mind, it is susceptible to running into stuff. So like maybe you might have to cut down like a tree or two or something like that so that you can get the tree out of the way so you can move it. But this box is something that you guys want to make sure you're using as much as possible, as often as possible in the early game or whenever you need it, if you ever see it, because it does allow you to climb stuff and go to different places that you wouldn't be able to otherwise, which will allow you to get, maybe there's a secret chest somewhere or secret item or whatever the case may be. Make sure anytime you see this box, you utilize it as much as you can before continuing on your journey. So anyways, that is 3 really big early game tips for you guys to start out your journey and get into the world of Hyrule. That's going to be about it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.